Hey there, Heather, ho there. It's Jeff Cutter Down. Welcome to yet another Stone Cold Hockey video. As we are doing the WHA 1972-73 season, and it looks pretty decent for Cleveland, New England, and New York to move on, with Quebec and Philly fighting tooth and nail for that fourth spot. Ottawa is only 5 back. They're chasing. In the West, Houston looks pretty good. Winnipeg, Alberta, LA, and Minnesota are fighting it out. Chicago 7 points back. The goal scoring race, Tom Webster has 42 goals, Wayne Carleton 42, and Ron Ward 42. So Carleton's been on fire as of late. Ward and Webster have always been in that place. There have been 15 30-goal scorers. By points, right now it's Ron Ward with 90 points, 42 goals, 48 assists. Wayne Carleton has 88 points. Bobby Hall has 86. Just to let you know, Jerry Cheever is a great goalie. Joel and Mike Curran are your three top goals against Cheevers, doing quite well for himself. Rita Pete Donnelly is 5 matches above 500, yet Serge Aubry has a better goals against than him. Look at the standings and all that. Quebec and Philly have only played 53 games. New York and Ottawa played 57. And it looks like Alberta, well, they might chase Winnipeg for second place. Well, Quebec says only scored 168 goals. Philly and Ottawa have scored way more goals, but the goals against has been terrible. So anyhow, yeah. Yeah, you see Quebec, they're 27-1 at home. Only New England has more home wins, but yet on the road they're pathetic. They've only had 2. Second last is 7 wins by New York on the road. Quebec just doesn't like to play outside of Quebec City. I don't know why. So each team plays 78 games. So that means that a lot of them have 20 more games left. Highlights. That 40 hat tricks. The top 3 games: Houston, Ottawa, 8-7 on December the 3rd when Houston won that game. Chicago, Ottawa. Chicago winning 7-6, and then Winnipeg 6-5 over Alberta on November 30th. I guess you know Cleveland, Philly, October 25th. Houston, Cleveland, November 25th. Winnipeg, Cleveland, January 23rd, with Cleveland winning in overtime. I don't know why I would do that. Anyway, we're going to look at some games. Saturday, we have ourselves a big battle between Quebec and Philly. As Chicago beat Houston 6-3, big win for them. Cleveland beat New York 5-2, and Winnipeg won in overtime by LA. Quebec plays as Philly, and it will be Bernie Perrant in the net against Richard Brodeur, King Richard Brodeur, as they call him. Serge Aubry's the main goalie with Jacques Lemel. Philly goalies Marcel Paillet from Bruins goalie against Archibald and Tom Carringer. Anyway, the Blazers 7 games below 500, so it's Quebec. J.C. Tremblay for Montreal rearguard. Michel Perisol, Andre Godet, Alain Cavallant, Bobby Gwendon, Rene Leclerc, Junkie Gandron, Jean Payette, Michel Arbicho, Yves Bergeron, Francois Lacombe, former SEAL, Michel Giroux, Michel Roux, Frank Golobrowski, Pierre Waugh, Michel Harvey, Pierre Guite, Jacques Blaine, Ken Desjardins, Paul LaRose, Guy Defour, Jean-Yves Cartier, Norm Coutu. Philly, Andre Lacroix, good guy for the Blazers. Danny Lawson, Pye McKenzie, Brian Campbell, Don Harriman, Ron Plum, Don Burgess, Don O'Donohue, Herb Spencer, Jim Cardiff, Michel Plant, Richard Campbell, John Mignot, Michel Boudreau, Camille Lapierre, John Bennett, Derek Sanderson, Pierre Henry, Derek Harker, John Gravel, Nick Polano, Dennis Belushi, Dave Hutchinson, Pierre Payne, Wayne Russell. Yeah, it's weird how, Derek Sanderson is and all that. Anyway, early on, no shot. 500 gigs. Début, Guy, Don, nomme la fête, 8e de la saison, 6 par de Jardine et Payette. 6 more minutes later, I thought for a while, and Austin scored, that is in 30 seconds. Much later. Quebec a chance, Payette, no. And we're tied at 1. 4 minutes later, battle Quebec sucks. 1 minute later, a chance for Philly from Plum, no. 6 minutes later, 3-1 Flyers. I mean, Blazers, whatever. 3 minutes later, I'm in love with you. I'm in love with you. 4-1, Cardiff with the assist. Yeah, King Richard Pruder. This was a decade before his great NHL run with the Canucks. Deliver those 4-1, so they're basically done for. So Quebec is just gonna let Lemlin. Love with you. Plum and Campbell with the assist. A lot of Blazers, French Canadians. Quebec Jets, Giadron, no. 5 minutes later. Big $1 million move for the Blazers. Quebec's going nowhere at this point. Well, Caron scores his 30 off. He gets the 30 goals. Marco Lacombe with the assist. And the Blazers push Quebec to the bank powder 7-2. Now, Quebec scored their 2 goals. Okay, my Philly scored 7. Make it 7-2. And no penalties. Wow. Clean game in a sense. New York, Cleveland. Cleveland still has to do a game. Los Angeles still has to do a game. Cleveland could play Philly. LA could play Winnipeg. Minnesota, Alberta, Ottawa still has to play theirs. And New England still has to play theirs. What about that? Well, Sunday. Philly shuts out Cleveland 6-0. They're on a roll. What's the 17th? Ottawa, Chicago, Minnesota, Cleveland, New England, Quebec. Damn. Well, Ottawa, do they play Cleveland, LA, or New England anytime soon? They play the 20th. The 20th. Okay, we'll skip to the 20th. February 20th. Okay, can we do? Might as well do the week. There we go. Cleveland has to play New England sometime. Does Cleveland play New England anytime soon or no? March 7th. So Cleveland, New England would be March 7th. LA and Ottawa will play. Ottawa 21-39 against LA, who are right at 500. Russ Gilo in the net against Les Binkley. Battle of the backups. Chills Graton, Gertrude the Looney, usually the star goalie, with Frank Blum being number 3. Les Binkley, the former Pittsburgh Penguin. Les Gilo behind George Gardner, the former Canucks goalie, and Bobby Perreault. The Sharks with Gary Veneruso, JP LeBlanc, Mark Crouch, the former King, Joe Sura, Alton White, Tom Service, Jerry Ostrowski, Tom Gilmore, Earl Hascala, Jim Niekamp, Peter Slater, Ralph McSween, Ted McCaskill. I keep thinking that's the guy from the WHA, but that's definitely not him. Jim Watson, former future Flyer. Steve Sutherland, that's Ted Saska. Fred Speck, Mike Heidman, Brady McNeil, and Howie Hagedal. Ottawa has Wayne Carleton, great goal scorer, but you know how bad Ottawa is. Gavin Kirk, known for his good luck charm with that rotted corn club. Bob Charlebois, not the singer. Guy Tretier, Battleship Leduc, Steve King, Tom Martin, Brian Gibbons, Dick Sentis, Rick Cunningham, Jack Gibson, Ron Climby, Brian Conacher from Relief, Ken Stevenson, Tom Simpson, Mike Boland, Mike Amadeo, C4, Chris Miloff, Ron Riley, John Donnelly, and Murph Haney. Early on, LA takes a chance. Veneruso, no. Gresham? High school. Nothing Ottawa. Much later. There was a hit. Then another much later thing. Service, no. High school, I know. Tom Simpson makes it 2-0 from the Duke and Martin. Yeah, Tom Simpson also was the tragic figure British cyclist who died in 1967 at the Tour de France. The Bronx has to take a shot, but they are in trouble. Ottawa's not going anywhere fast. Until the clock fight will be LeBlanc and Rick Cunningham. Well, they took out LeBlanc. It's Gilmore. I was in trouble. 5 more minutes. Closer. A little hit. McCaskill from LeBlanc makes it 3-1. I think Ruscillo can stay in the net. Like, can we stay in the net? That's bad news. Sharks. It's Gilmore again. Nationals are looking pretty good. Pressure. Ignored. I guess because and Carlton gets hit. And they'll kill the zone. And they'll do it. Peter Slater scored. Later Slater made it 4-2 from Speck and White, but that's not going to do anything as Ottawa is now 22-39-1. They have to go 14-0-3 then. Claim the record. 14-0-3. Binkley Gillo. Binkley. Oh, 4-2. March the 7th, right? Is it March 3rd or 7th? When Cleveland plays New England. I think it's the 7th. Yeah, it's the 7th. Cleveland and England will play. Here for Chicago. 7th will be Cleveland, New England. Cleveland will head to New England 39-20 and 5. New England 33-23 and 7. And it will be Bob Whitten against Bruce Landon in the nets. So the battle of the backups. No Cheevers versus Smith. I would like to see Cheevers, but that's the way they decided. Ron Buchanan in net for Cleveland. And Nat, what am I thinking? Gary Jarrett, former NHLer. Jim List, Jerry Pinder, Paul Andraya, Joe Hardy, not from the Hardy Boys. Paul Schmier, former NHLer. Or future NHLer, I think. Ray Clearwater, Gray Erickson, Rich Pumple, Ted Hodgson, Doug Brinkley, John Hanna, Skip Craig, Bill Horton, Bob Dillenbow, Wayne Berlin, Ralph Hiapifori, Jim McMasters, and Al Rycroft. The Whales have Tom Webster, Terry Caffery, Larry Plow. Larry Plow, former NHL write-off for the Blues and the Habs. Tom Webster, known for being a fiery coach. Tim Sheehy, Jim Dory, former Leaf. John French, Ted Green, former Bruin, who once had to lose this season because he was in that six-swing preseason brawl with Wayne Mackey. Kevin Ahern, Brett Selby, the former Calder Trophy winner for the Leafs and Flyers. John Danby, Brad Selwood, another former Leaf. Tommy Williams, a rarity in the NHL at that when he played for the Bruins, an American in the NHL. Rick Lay, former Leaf. Future coach, Tom Earl, Paul Hurley, Mike Byers, John Cuniff, Guy Smith, Rick Jordan. Here we go. Much later. Cleveland delivers a hit. And Cleveland for Horton. She misses Spear with a chance. That's the other second time. Papa Carver will kid. And a chance for Cleveland Skiers. Jared. It's 39 from Pumple and Dillable. Buchanan with a chance, though. And we have a tie 1-1 through 20 minutes. Much later. Terrible catch up Selwood on that play. One scoring. Michael. Pumple, no. Much later. Battle Penalty New England. It's Selwood for 2. Horton can't do anything, and Anakin Hannah. Holy Hannah. American. 3-1 from Byers and Plow. I knew I would say that, so it's the Whalers. Sorry. Plow for 2. Papa probably goal. Doug Brindley. Not Christy Brinkley, but Doug Brindley. From Schmier and McMasters. 3-2 Patriots. There you go again. Cutter. 4 minutes later. Jets for Cleveland Skiers. From Clearwater, Florida. Ray Clearwater, his 8th. Well, not really, of course. Gary Jarrett with the assist. So Cleveland's coming back. Rivers a hit. 5 minutes later. Cleveland Skiers. Schmier campaign. It's a Schmier campaign as Landon can't believe his luck as Hardy and Andrea have scored the assist. Danby trying to score the tying goal. Empty net. Timing. No Skiers. Wow. Mr. Plow has 37 from Smith and Selby. We are going to overtime. Who will it be? Nobody. And Cleveland and New England hit a pointless 4-4 tie. New England was up 3-1, and Cleveland had it, but Plow in the last 30 seconds ties the game, and we go to 4-4. Trying to, they're trying to do the folk song. I like to teach the whole world to sing in perfect harmony. So the summary is, well, Cleveland and New England look pretty good. New York and Philly are looking good. Quebec's falling off the map. In the meantime, there's a fight. Houston looking good. LA and Minnesota are fighting for that fourth and final spot. Chicago will probably play spoiler. Pair of 50 goal scorers, so that's kind of impressive to see some people at 50 goals and all that. But more will be coming later. Anyway, I'm Jeff Diamond. Adieu.